from the continent of Africa, the beautiful land of Nigeria, destination Kogi State. This is Inside the Confluence, the land of many opportunities. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, the program is Inside the Confluence, your #1 television and internet program, the program that promises to be the bridge between the government and the governed. This is Inside the Confluence, your #1 television and internet program designed to educate and inform you about happenings within and outside Kogi State. It is also a program set to be the bridge between the government and the governed. Remember, if you have not spoken or heard on this program, consider not heard or known. Showcase your projects, products, goods and services on Inside the Confluence and you will be glad you did. For sponsorship and advert placement, call NMali on 0705 4000 395. Inside the Confluence, where ideas meet. All right, Dino Melai, of course, there's this rumor. We saw him on the internet, how he is supportive, and he's saying that whosoever is involved in touching you will or must pay for it. The Dino that we're talking about, how much of Dino do you know?
Well, it is true that I know Dino before he became a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I also know him before he became a member of the House of Representatives. My knowing Dino was not because he has enormous money. My knowing him was because I discovered in him that he has some level of desire to liberate his people. When we were into Igala Student Association, the likes of Dino were also leading the Okun Students Association. And at that point, I felt that let us put our synergy together, bring the Okun and the Igala together for us to fight for the liberation of Kogi State. That was the point I get to know him. Not too close anyway, but that is the point I get to know him. I am also aware of this rumor by so many people. Be careful with Dino, because he only use you, and at the end of the day, he will go and negotiate and betray you. Well, I've heard this from several people, several quarters. Also, apart from what you heard, that I may confirm to be true in the public domain. But I want to believe this time that Dino will not be able to compromise after he knows that if he compromises, he will be killed. The attempt on Dino to be killed is 2 times now. If you allow it to happen for the 3rd time, maybe it will be history. And I know that there is no man who will ever allow such a situation. Haven't seen the first part, second part, he will allow an opportunity for the 3rd part, because the 3rd part may be an end of a film. And I know that Dino will not want to do that. Even though I am also very careful with him. I am also very careful. My struggle is not dependent on Dino. My struggle is not dependent on anyone. My struggle is dependent on God. I believe that what I am doing now is what God has sent me to do. If I had considered to betraying Igala race, where I'm a bona fide son, maybe the current crisis between me and Yaya Bello wouldn't have been. What I'm being deprived of today wouldn't have been. Maybe I would have been making money just like any other person from Yaya Bello-led administration by now.
Let me ask this salient question. It might look stupid. Have you ever killed?
Well, I don't think I can kill my fellow man. But and I don't think I would ever dream of killing my fellow man.
But directly or indirectly, have you been commission to take operation in taking one's life?
Well, it is true that when you are in the political circle as a young person, there will be a lot of attempt of inducement for you to commit. But I'm one of the highly distinguished youth that was able to separate my support for political party and then being used to commit murder. I am one of those very few youths who has escaped to be used to achieve that. And there are so many leaders who can attest to this fact that are still alive. Don't forget that I was a pioneer youth leader of ANPP in Kogi State. And then I was one of the ardent supporters of late Prince Abubakar Audu. And at that time, considering the kind of person that the leadership of the party was, I refused to allow myself to be used. I have served under the government of Dr. Ibrahim Idris. And I have never allowed myself to be used in any way. Thank God that Dr. Ibrahim Idris kind of government was not even a government that is ready to kill anyone. So there is no way I would have been involved in even being used. The target of Dr. Ibrahim Idris was to allow me meet up with my desire to empower the youth of Kogi State. An office which I used diligently, and the youth can bear me witness till today. So I do not kill, and I will never encourage killing of any young man or any old man, as the case may be. The worst I can do to myself is to allow those I am suffering to liberate to be killed. I have suffered in the prison yard. I have slept on the floor with this body for a year in the prison yard in an attempt to agitate for the liberation of my people. How can I be the same person who will come out to kill? I will not do it. Even when my own senior brother was killed in cold blood by the likes of Honorable Haruna Yusuf, who currently serves the governor as a special advisor on Assembly Liaison, simply because he perceived me as a man who may likely contest election with him and become a member of the House of Assembly, was the reason why he concoctioned so many stories about me, fabricated several petitions against me that led to the attack on my father's house. My father's house was burnt down. My senior brother, immediate senior brother, was killed.
Was it also true that you knelt a DPU and urinated in the can for him to drink because it's all over?
These are the story of Haruna Yusuf. All these stories were put together by Haruna Yusuf so as to get to me, inside the Nigerian police against me, to get to me. And that was how my senior brother was killed. But since the death of my senior brother, I have not attempted to revenge. My reason is not because I do not have the strength or Haruna Yusuf have monopoly of violence. But I look at the later implication of my revenge, that it may come to a point that those who belong to Haruna family will also want to revenge again, and it will become a generational war. Was the reason why I left Haruna today. I left Haruna to his fate. And Haruna suffered it after I left the House of Assembly. Without a job, he became frustrated, nowhere to go. He suffered it without me touching him. And today he felt that he has gotten an opportunity to get close to a governor who is ready to do the hatchet job. And he's taking advantage of it to look for a way to kill me again, just like he killed my senior brother, and I never retaliated. If I had retaliated, Haruna is well known that he was the person who killed my senior brother. If I had retaliated, let him respond that one member of his family has been killed in return. I have persuaded and impressed on my junior ones not to retaliate. Until today, they have not retaliated by even insult on Haruna. Until he came with this attack again to make sure that I'm killed.
Now, this attack, from your narratives, means your own kinsman is involved. Have you communicated to them back home whether to subside?
The community is aware. And as I speak with you, I am the only man who is holding the peace of my people. By now, what you would have heard would have been a terrible situation in my community. But I have stopped it. And I have continually rejected any attempt to lead the community to war. Even as I speak with you, I am not ready to encourage that. My reason is that I have suffered for the liberation of that community. And I wouldn't want to set that community in war. Take example from what is happening today between me and Yaya Bello. If not that he permanently resolved to touch the Igala race, the current problem I have with him wouldn't have been. Because I remembered when I gave an advice to him over the screening exercise. And he gave me the background that my brother governors, former governors, has choked up the civil service because of the opportunity of governance that they had. Indirectly telling me that reason why the Igala are more in the civil service is because of the Igala men that has always been governors. And I took my time to explain to him that he should first start with a study of Igala history and the dynamics of our political history as well. And he will come to the decision and he will come to the discovery that an average Igala man is a docile person. What do I mean by being docile? A man who will always want, okay, let me work and be paid. That is who an Igala man was, or who an Igala man is. If you check our history, I explain all of this to the governor. If you check our history from Old Kwara, you will be able to arrive at a decision. In the Old Kwara, Igala civil servant occupy 56.99% of the total workforce. The then Benue State inherited 60% of total workforce of Kogi State, of the then Benue State as Igala. Therefore, you will be making mistakes to think that because Audu had ever been governor, Ibro had ever been governor, or Wada had ever been governor, that is why the Igalas are more in the civil service. You get it all wrong. Because in the Old Kwara, the percentage was 59.99% of the total workforce. And if you go back to Benue, the Benue state government inherited 60% Igala workforce in the civil service. And when we return back to Kogi State, there was no magic that would have stopped that lead that the Igala had. You looking at Igala governor as the reason for Igala more in civil service is a mistake, Your Excellency. Again, look at the other ranks in the Nigerian police. You will discover that 66.9% of them are all Igalas. And no Igala man has ever been IGP in Nigeria. So will you not be making mistakes to say that because the Igala are more in the police is because Igala had ever been IGP? I put all of these points to the governor.
What did he say?
He never considered it as any reason.
Yes, you spoke with the governor. And your brother man, Edward Onoja, is the chief of staff to the governor. Did you also meet with him to tell him all of this?
I met with him in 2 occasions. I went to his office. I said I made up my mind not to talk with you. But because you are still wearing the blood of an Igala man is the reason why I have come to you. I want us to be mindful of the disposition of the governor over what affects an Igala man in this government. I told him all of the stories. After that, the governor called me for the second time to another meeting in Abuja, in his house in Otako, and he told me how Mohammed Audu disgraced him and he was going to embarrass him, that he was going to make sure that Mohammed Audu is stripped naked, and he will detain him, he will put him in prison. And I asked, Your Excellency, why? He explained to me, and I simply told the governor that embarrassing Mohammed Audu and arresting him is not going to be anything good for the government of Kogi State. That Mohammed Audu is not known to politics of Kogi State. And if he wants to organize a rally to be known, to call for a rally to indicate interest, to contest governorship of Kogi State, Mohammed Audu will need not less than 50 million. Please don't go and spend the state's money to make Mohammed popular unnecessarily. Mohammed is a major victim of the death of his father. Going by our tradition, Mohammed is expected, as a first son, is expected to be a major benefactor of proceeds of whatever his father has. His father sat and counted his election and he won, only for him not to stay to be declared winner of that election. There is no man with that kind of pain that will not be aggrieved. I expected that if you are going to have any beef with Mohammed, call him on phone and tell him as a young man that you are coming to visit him in Abuja. For if you do otherwise, PDP will be on streets, APC will be on streets, ABGA will be, all legalers will be on streets to protest the release of Mohammed. And don't be surprised that I, Friday Sani, will be at the forefront of that struggle, and I'll carry placards against you, because I still remain an Igala man, and Mohammed Audu is still an Igala man in spite of our political differences. That was what I told him. While I was telling him this, my brother was in the next room. I didn't know the mechanism of the room of the governor. I didn't know that there was another room very close to where we were, and he was listening to our discussion. My brother, the chief of staff, the almighty chief of staff, busted in and began to insult me. That was how I misled Ibro, and I have also come to mislead Yaya Bello. And I got angry. Give it to him back. And I said, look, Your Excellency, you are here. A domestic staff of yours is insulting me as a member of the House of Assembly. After all, you invited me here. I came here upon your invitation. That was how the governor ignored me and decided to go and arrest Mohammed Audu. At that point, I returned back to my colleagues in the House of Assembly. I do inform them accurately that this man is out to fight Igala people. Because by the two issues, major issues he has presented to me, it shows me that he's all out on a revenge mission against Igala race, believing that the Igala has deprived his tribe for too long.
All of this that is happening, did you tell the elders, especially the elders from the Igala extraction? There
is no major stakeholder of Igala extraction that I did not discuss this matter with. And that was why I eventually moved that motion. Let us go back to history if what I am saying is a mere allegation. Check the screening exercise. And those who were disqualified from being local government staff or the state, check the percentage. You will discover that the Igala is more affected than any other tribe. Is it not clear that it is targeted at the Igala people? Take example from the screening of local government staff in the Central Senatorial District and that of the Eastern Senatorial District. Those who were successful in that screening, I have government white paper to this effect.
Good.
Those who were affected by the screening were more of Kogi East than any other senatorial district.
It's okay. Now, Imam has resigned, and we have a new government in the State House of Assembly. When are you due to resume?
Imam did not resign.
But it's all over that he resigned.
Imam did not resign. Imam was only threatened by the governor to resign. Don't forget that I have told you here that the attack on the House of Assembly was not really targeted at me per se. The leadership of the House was becoming too strong in the investigation of how funds were used in the state. The governor had already decided to change Imam and make Kolawole. The whole thing that played out was to put the House under fear. Okay, just try to imagine how Imam resigned. The House was attacked in the morning. In the evening, the governor called for meetings of members. And the House sat the next day. A House of Assembly that was under attack. It shows you that the government was remoting it. House of Assembly was under attack in the morning. All members escaped for their dear life in the morning. In the evening, the governor called for meeting of members. The members were not even agitated over the attack on them. They went for that meeting in government house, and at the end of the day, the next day, the house that was under attack sat under a full coverage of security to tell you that the government was ready to provide security on that day, but they were ready to provide security on the day the house was attacked. It simply tells you that the whole thing was designed for a change of leadership, like they've been able to do now. So if anybody tells you that Imam resigned, that person is telling you lies. Imam did not resign in any way. If a House of Assembly can be an attack in the morning, and the next morning, an assembly that was vandalized became a comfortable assembly that can sit and change Imam and bring in a new speaker, does it not tell you, does it not expose to you the antics of Yaya Bello clearly?
So that means you're not coming under this leadership?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that that change reflects the norms of democracy and the rule of law.
Are you going to court?
I'm not a child, an illegitimate child. I'm a legitimate child. I'm a second timer in the Kogi State House of Assembly. Legitimately elected. My election, my second term election was challenged up to the appeal court. And behold, the appeal court confirmed the legitimacy of my election. It tells you that I'm not an illegitimate child, so I cannot operate under illegitimacy. As far as I'm concerned, Imam is my speaker and he remained my speaker, except otherwise decided democratically by the House of Assembly. We are waiting for the National Assembly to reconvene, and by the grace of God, the National Assembly shall salvage the situation by ensuring if the House of Assembly members are gathered tomorrow and in a democratic environment, not teleguided by Yaya Bello, an election is conducted and Kolawole becomes speaker, so be it. I'll bow immediately to Kolawole. But right now, an assembly like that of Kogi, where I am a member, cannot be a subsidiary or a department of government house. Even if this is my last voice, let it be. Even if after this I lose my life, let it be. But the assembly of Kogi State cannot be a subsidiary or a department of government house where a speaker of Kogi State House of Assembly will become a senior special assistant to the governor. It is impossible.
Are you in touch with your other colleagues?
Yes, I am.
No.
My colleagues are incapacitated. Kogi State is under siege. Kogi State is under siege. My colleagues are incapacitated. A lot of them are under fear of attack to be killed. If what I am saying is not correct, let a conducive atmosphere be created for members, we members to meet with the guardians of National Assembly and let election be conducted into the office of Speaker of Kogi State House of Assembly. And let us see if the governor has that power to dominate the house to appoint any member to become speaker. You will see it.
Willan Hassan Bewa was involved. What role did he play?
He displayed an Igala man. He was an Igala man. That he cannot watch Friday Sani to be killed. He showed he was an Igala son. He also displayed that the blood in him is that of Igala. And I live to respect him.
He had injury. And how come?
Well, it was in the process of trying to make sure that I was properly killed. That a stick, one of the dangerous weapons that was used, I think met him. I believe that he will have injury because of the level of attack that was coming on me. I believe he will have an injury. I believe it. But I think his situation is under control.
Have you spoken with Kingsman Ahmed?
Well, I don't think I can talk to a man who is out to kill me. And I will never talk to him. As much as I am ready to forgive all to be able to achieve Igala agenda, Igala project, I have no reservation. I have nothing to fear about. I have no regrets to say I am an advocate of Igala race that I am. I have no regret about it. As a matter of fact, I have ever told the governor, Alhaji Ayabelo, that let anyone tell you whatever you want to hear and you'll be happy to hear them. But one thing stands, I will not change my tribe because I want to be loyal to you. Because your own loyalty that was shown to Captain Idris Wada when he was a governor, you did not change your tribe as an Ebira man. Therefore, I will not change my tribe as an Igala man. As much as I'm ready to sacrifice all to Igala race, for Igala to be able to regain its lost glory, I will not surrender myself, my life, to a man who is ready to kill me. Right. And that is why I will not call him.
Who is actually Elder Friday Makama?
Yes, I have been described in so many ways. I have a man who wrote a book about me, the Makama phenomenon. Different definitions have been given to me, and I'm not surprised about it. Remember that when the going was good between President Olusegun Obasanjo and Comrade Adams Ochimole, when he was the president of NLC, President Olusegun Obasanjo described Comrade Adams Ochimole as the best union leader the world has ever produced. But when the going became bad, he described Comrade Adams Ochimole as the worst criminal the world has ever produced. So in the struggle for liberation and emancipation, you must be ready to take several names. But I remain Comrade Friday Sani. I have also written a book about myself, The Road to Freedom and Democratic Leadership, Devoid of Corruption, the Makama phenomenon. I am a man of different parts. A lot of people find it difficult to know who I am. But I am telling you now that I am a man that is touched by his people. My major problem and concern on this earth is to fight for the freedom of my people. I started from that background. I started the struggle for the liberation of Odolu people over Odolu Southern Reserve that was taken over by the two sons of Ataigala. You remember the history of Hippo Nigeria Limited, where Odolu community land was given under concession, verbal concession, to the two sons of Ataigala by the then military government. I challenged the military government because I came to inherit a history where my grandfather agitated over the land that belongs to Odolu people and he was arrested. I came to discover that history was part of what led to the early death of my grandfather. And when I grew up, I was challenged by that struggle. And I said, where my father stopped, I will start from there. That was how I started the struggle for the liberation of Odolu people over Odolu Satan Reserve. Behold, throughout my struggle, I never caused the death of anyone. It was a struggle that was seen to be very violent. It was a struggle that had a very serious sound of violence. But nobody was killed. I eventually come out of that struggle without killing anyone. Until today, history has it. Even when all petitions were written against me over that struggle, nobody could point at one man that was killed by me. I have been arrested by those petitions severally. None of them could send me to the prison yard or convict me, because majority of those petitions were fictitious. Majority of them were fabricated because of my rising political profile. And today history has it that I am the man who fought for the freedom of Odolu people. Behold, when I eventually returned what belongs to my people back to my people, an Odolu man was qualified to go and tap the resources that belongs to him. Odolu man became qualified to go and saw wood in the land that they own. I never sent one motor saw to the Odolu Satan Reserve to go and saw wood. Ask my people, they will tell you. The chairman of Timber Union Association of both Igala land and both of Odolu and that of Igala Melo Odolu can attest to this fact, that I never sent one motor saw to go and saw wood for me. They impressed on me to buy motor saw to saw wood. I vehemently refused it because I wanted to distinguish myself, to tell them that what I fought for is not personal. My dear brother, none of my brother is a timber contractor.
All right. In this case, can I put it, would you vie to, aspire to become the governor of the state one day?
I will think about that when I am done with the struggle for the liberation of Igala race. But right now, it's not right. I'm not qualified yet. Well, I'm not qualified not because I don't have the credentials. I'm not qualified because currently I am seen as one of the very strong frontiers for the Igala race. I am currently seen as one of the strong agitator of Igala freedom. In that situation, it will be too wrong for me to marry an ambition with that struggle. I don't want to make the mistakes of late, great Awolowo. Great Awolowo made the mistake of fighting for freedom and marrying it with an ambition. One thing that makes Nelson Mandela to stand out today in Africa is not any magic. Nelson Mandela never married his struggle for the liberation of South Africa with any ambition. He never knew he was going to become president. It was at a point in the struggle that the people resolved to him, oh, this man has suffered for the liberation of our people for too long. Let us allow him to manage the affair of the people and let us see where South Africa can be. That is what I prefer. I am still going to suffer a lot of humiliation. I still see myself going back to prison. I will not be surprised. But I know my people shall be liberated at the end of the day. Let them continue to employ mediocres. Let them continue to recruit mischief makers. Let them continue to recruit killers, kidnappers. But one thing will stand out. Daniel that day. The king told him, you claim to serve God, let that God save you. And behold, the next day, Daniel said to the king, that God that I serve has saved me.
How rich is Friday Makama?
I am a very poor man. I'm a very poor man. I'm a very rich man. I'm rich in the Spirit of God. I am this man that no one can describe. Remember the story of the Bible. There are men who existed unknown to the world that they existed like God. You remember the story of Melchizedek. He operated without trace. Nobody knew that that man was God. Nobody gave birth to him. The Bible didn't tell us. He left the service on this earth without any trace to where he was killed, where he died, where he was buried. We equally have somebody similar to that in the Bible who had existed without trace. They were so powerful kings and priests that nobody could kill. I have seen in me that what is in me nobody can kill. Nobody. It may only take pains to come out of it. The day I was attacked, this head was divided into three. You cannot face me. You cannot watch me. Please check the video on channels and you will see the type of swollen head, swollen body that I had. Where are they now? The body that was panebitated, the body that was attacked, is different from the body that is seated here. And that is why they are missed. Somebody posted on the Facebook that, come, look at the face of a man that was wearing different injuries last week. And then hair swollen up all over. And look at the face of that same man today, in between 1 week or 2 weeks. How do we believe? You have to believe. Believe, because the body that was attacked is different from the body that is seated here. And I will continue to let you know that no one can kill me. I will continue to pass my message. And until my message is able to deliver my people, no one will kill me. The day I will go back to my God, Yaya Bello can never be aware of it. The day I will go back to my God, Edward Onoja can never be aware of it. Nobody is above God. The kind of authority that is being displayed by Yaya Bello-led government, I'm afraid that what happened to Pharaoh may likely happen to him. Because even on that day, the children of Israel turned back after crossing the Red Sea. And they still discovered that that same opportunity they have to cross the Red Sea was the same opportunity available to the soldiers of Pharaoh. And I said, Moses, you see, we are here in the desert where we shall die and our corpse will be eaten up by a vulture. And Moses turned back upon seeing the soldiers and the army of Pharaoh and coming to devour everybody. Moses now said, worry not anymore, for the Egyptians you see today, you will see them no more. Those Egyptians now that are in existence in Kogi, you shall see them no more. They will disappear in phases and you will see them no more. I assure you. Let it be my last word on this earth. It doesn't matter. But those Egyptians you see now, you will see them no more. That's my assurance. This is in compliance with the Bible. And nobody can shortchange it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow.